Silent prayer. தமிழ் தாய் வாழ்த்து.
நீராடும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெளிலொழுகும் சீராரும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதில் தெக்கணமும் அதில் சிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனகே தமிழனகே உன் சீரிழமை திரும்பி எந்த செயல் மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே வாழ்த்துதுமே.
School song.
God makes my life bright. Wherever I go, He will lead. God makes my life bright. Wherever I go, He will lead. He shapes my dispute, inspires me to rise, aspire and achieve through hill and dale. Inspires me to rise, aspire and achieve through hill and dale. The flames of Shri Shakti will lead me on the path. The flames of Shri Shakti will lead me on the path of virtue, wisdom and truth. He gives me strength, peace and comfort throughout my life. He gives me strength, peace and comfort throughout my life. God makes my life bright. Wherever I go, He will lead.
Pledge. India is my country. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. I love my country and I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. I shall always strive to be worthy of it. I shall give my parents, teachers and all elders respect and treat everyone with courtesy. To my country and my people I pledge my devotion. In their well-being and prosperity alone lies my happiness.
Okay, come on everyone, we're behind schedule. You know what's gotta be done. Move it, move it, move it. Hey, you there, pick up the pace. You're falling behind. 27 is starting. Come on, let's go. Everyone, pull together. We got a threat to our hands. You there. Here we go.
Theme-based speech by class teacher.
Happy morning to one and all present here. I'm really glad to talk about today's assembly theme, the ant philosophy and their lessons to human life. The most hardworking creature in the planet. They are all over, all the time. It's like they never quit. They are always doing something, carrying something on their backs, building an ant hill. Ants are real survivors. Today, we are going to learn some biggest lessons in our life which come from the smallest creature around us. Jim Rohn, the greatest motivational guru, has keenly observed and developed the ant philosophy. This philosophy is covered in 4 lessons, teaching us great values of life. These lessons, when absorbed in our life, can take us to greater heights. Let's have a look one by 1. Number 1. Ants plan ahead. Ants think winter all summer. They store provision in summer. They think the clock is running out of time and they are hurrying to get food back to their hive. This lesson is saying hustle hard in advance to secure your future. Number 2. Ants stay positive always. Ants remind themselves that winter does not last long. They know they will soon be out. This lesson is saying whatever happens in your life right now, it will not last forever. Number 3. Ants never quit. They only change their approach. If they're going somewhere and you stop them or block their pathway, they will look for another way, up, down, all around. They keep looking till they find another way. This lesson is saying be learn to embrace struggle and hardship in your life. Be flexible and be like an ants who don't quit. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Number 4. Ants do all they can do. This is the great work ethics ants exhibit. They don't bother how much food the other ant is collecting, but collects as much as it possibly can. This lesson is saying success and happiness come after giving your 100%, that is doing all you possibly can. It will always lead you to the greater things and the next level in your life. So, next time, whenever you have doubts about the work that you are carrying single-handedly on your shoulders, always remember that tiny ant and the determination it has, this will ever motivate you to the fullest. Remember, an ant carries 20 times more weight than its own weight. I know you all have an ant inside of you. Find your inner ant and never give up. Always look ahead, stay positive, and do all that you can do. Thank you.
Theme-based video.
Ants and human societies are similar in many ways. They live in communities numbering from just a few individuals up to many millions. They can build vast empires that span the world. They conduct diplomacy with neighbouring settlements, and they can even go to war with each other. All the ants have just one single intent on their mind, and that's the reproductive success of the colony. Everything that they do is directed towards that one aim. Most ant colonies consist of just one reproductive individual, the queen, and many non-reproductive workers. And the workers are actually all female, so they're a vast sisterhood who does all the work. Now, the title queen seems to imply some kind of political authority, that the queen is telling the workers what to do at any one moment in time. But in fact, it's completely self-organized.
In a colony of ants, there are no fixed managers. There are no CEOs or presidents. Everyone is working towards the common goal. If one ant finds a trace of food, that ant will become, in that moment, a leader and get everyone else to come into that food source. But the modern organization is obsessed with hierarchy, obsessed with managers and where you are up on the scale, or which number or pay grade you are. And what happens is lots of people lower down spend all their time trying to guess what their manager wants or their manager's managers want, rather than what's going to work for the organization and the people they serve.
When an ant encounters a food source, for example, what it can do on the way back to the colony is lay a trail using pheromones. And these are just chemicals that they can lay on the ground so that when other ants come along and encounter that trail, they know to follow it all the way to the food. So this simple process of positive feedback is surprisingly effective at finding the shortest path.
The idea, borrowing from the ant world, of actually getting the data, making sure you're capturing it from the very people who are on the coalface, so to speak, makes tons of sense, because they're the ones with the rich qualitative data to be able to feed that back into the decision making.
We have to be self-organised. We have to allow people to have their own intelligence and wisdom and organise around a problem or a project themselves, rather than always waiting for someone else to tell them what to do, or for a 3-year business planning cycle to take effect. Just as ants respond immediately to changes in their environment, say the diminishing of a foraging patch, and adapt really quickly to that change, organisations must be able to do the same.
By looking at ants, for instance, it stimulates our thinking about how we might try to do things differently, then that's worth it in and of itself. I just think you'd probably want to start experimenting in a quite small and bounded way, but yeah, why not?
திருக்குறள்.
இன்றைய திருக்குறள் அதிகாரம் வினைத்திட்பம். குறள் எண் 668. குறள்: கலங்காது கண்ட வினைக்கண் துலங்காது தூக்கம் கடிந்து செயல். தெளிவுரை: உள்ளம் கலங்காமல் ஆராய்ந்து துணிந்து ஏற்ற தொழிலை சோர்வின்றி காலம் கடத்தாமல் செய்து முடிக்க வேண்டும்.
Story by Harshita.
One warm spring day, a grasshopper was playing in a grassy green field when he noticed a line of ants marching along carrying some seeds. "Where are you going with that big load?" the grasshopper asked one of them. "We are taking the seeds to our nest," quaked the ant. "But it's such a beautiful day," said the grasshopper. "Come and have fun with me." "No," said the ant. "I think you should come work with us. It's going to be a long winter with lots of snow. You would better start storing your food now." "Why worry about the winter? It's only spring and there's a lot of food everywhere," said the grasshopper as he chewed on a large lap of grass. All through the spring, the grasshopper did nothing except eat and sleep and play. He became quite fat. One day, during the summer, the grasshopper saw the long line of ants again. They were all carrying grains of wheat. "Where are you going with that all wheat?" the grasshopper asked. "We are taking it to our nest to save for winter," said one of the ants. "You should gather some wheat too. It's going to be a long winter with lots of snow." "I have all food that I need right now," said the grasshopper. "Why worry about the winter? It's still summer." All summer, the grasshopper did nothing but eat, sleep, and play. He became even fatter. One day, the grasshopper noticed the leaves were falling from the trees autumn had come. Among the leaves, he saw again the long line of ants all carrying nails of corns. "Where are you going with that corn?" the grasshopper asked one of the ants. The ant replied, "We are all taking it to our nest to save for winter. You should gather some corn too. It's going to be a long winter with lots of snow." "That's too much work hard," said the grasshopper. "Winter is not yet here and it will come. I'm sure I will able to find some food." A few weeks later, winter came and the snow began to fall. Just as the ants had predicted, the snow was very deep. This was not a problem for the ants, though they were all sunk in their nest with lots of good food to eat. The grasshopper, however, had trouble finding food. He was very hungry and very miserable all winter. By the time winter had ended, the grasshopper had learned a valuable lesson. It is important to prepare for the future. Moral of the story: work today for what you will need tomorrow. Thank you.
Thought for the day.
Happy morning to one and all present here. Today's thought: there are no secrets to success. It is the result of preparation, hard work, and learning from failure. Thank you.
Vishnu Seshwatri is going to share his own experience on ant philosophy.
Good morning all, I am Vishnu Seshatri of Grade 12 Commerce and I am here to share my own experience on the ant philosophy. A few weeks ago, I was resting in my room after a long time accountancy revision class and I noticed some ants in action. I observed that when one finds food, others immediately gather to pull up the food to their storage. I tried to disturb their pattern, which unfortunately resulted in wounding one. Quickly they came together and I evacuated it. Then they reorganized and continued on the line they had created. I saw no formal supervision, yet they were accomplishing tremendous tasks, such as moving pieces of food that were about 20 times their individual sizes. Here's what I have learned from that tiny amazing creature is self-motivation and never give up. Thank you.
आज का सुविचार.
नमस्कार। आज का सुविचार, जहाँ एक निराशावादी व्यक्ति किसी भी कार्य में दुष्परिणाम ढूंढ लेते हैं, वही आशावादी व्यक्ति हर एक कठिन कार्य में भी एक अवसर ढूंढ लेते हैं. Meaning in English, where a pessimistic person finds an outcome in any task, wherein an optimistic person may find an opportunity even in difficult work. धन्यवाद. Thank you.
Life lesson from ant.
Happy morning. Today we are going to learn 10 life lessons from ants. Lesson 1: don't work under a commander. Ants don't need a commander to tell them to get started. Be proactive. Ants work faithfully and need no outside accountability to keep them doing right and doing the right things. Be honest to yourself. Ants work hard and will replace their ant hill when it gets rain. Be industrious. Lesson 2: ants plan ahead. Ants store provisions in summer. Ants think winter all summer. They think of bad times even when they are enjoying the good times. You cannot be so naive as to think summer will last forever. Plan ahead, plan for downside of life. Lesson 3: ants stay positive always. Ants think summer all winter. During the winter, ants remind themselves that winter does not last long. They know they will soon be out. Stay positive. Lesson 4: ants never quit. They only change their approach. If they are headed somewhere and you try to stop them, they will look for another way. Don't quit. Ants will climb over, they will climb under, they will climb around. They will keep looking for the another way. Be flexible. Never quit. Always look for a way to get where you wanted to go. Lesson 5: ants always do their best. Ants gather all they possibly do. How much will an ant gather during summer to prepare for winter? The answer is all they possibly can. Do all you can. Go the extra mile. Lesson 6: ants are organized. There are 3 types of ants in a colony: queen, workers, males as security. Division of work. Everybody should know their rules and responsibilities. Lesson 7: ants share. Ants display unselfish unity. Sharing is caring. The ant that finds the food returns to the nest to share the information and discovery. The ant does not keep the information selfishly to itself. Lesson 8: ants are disciplined. March in a line one after another. Move about in order and never cut the line. Acts of misbehavior, misconduct, and indiscipline must not be tolerated in organization. Lesson 9: ants stay busy. Ants always have work to do for the colony. They work all day long. Being busy has meaning. When you see ants marching around, you can be sure that they are headed towards their destination to collect food or to deposit food in their nest. They never look busy without reason. Ants are never lazy or refuse to work. Lesson 10: ants are hard workers. Did you know ants can carry 10 times their body weight? Just because something is hard does not mean an ant will give up. and neither should you.
News.
Good morning. Today's news headlines. Local news. Vehicles from Kerala carrying poultry items prohibited from entering into Tamil Nadu. Distribution of Pongal gift hampers begin. TNAU launches high-yield sunflower variety. TNPC introduces changes to prevent malpractices. Lowest number of COVID cases recorded in Coimbatore. National COVID-19 vaccine dry run to take place in Tamil Nadu in 5 districts. Thank you. Have a nice day.
National news headlines. India Sri Lanka looking at post-COVID cooperation, says Jaishankar. Mamata Banerjee meets Governor Jagdeep Dhankar at Raj Bhavan. Bharat Biotech vaccine approved in clinical trial mode, says ICMR. India approves COVID-19 vaccines, Covishield and Covaxin for emergency use. Central government asked Tamil Nadu government to revoke order allowing 100% occupancy in theatres.
International news. Morocco approves use of AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine. WHO disappointed as China delays letting in experts to examine origin of COVID-19. 5 new countries joined polarized UN Security Council. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson announces nationwide lockdown. Quiz by Selva Krishna. Amazing Ant Facts by Kavya.
Pleasant morning to all. Amazing ant facts. Ants are clean and tidy insects. Worker ants are given the job of taking the rubbish from the nest and putting it outside in a special rubbish dump, collecting the food, building their home, and look after the young. Each colony of ant has its own smell. In this way, intruders can be recognized immediately. If a man could run as fast for his size as an ant can, he could run as fast as a racehorse. The average life expectancy of an ant is 45 to 60 days. Over 10,000 known species of ants. Ants sleep 7 hours a day. Ants can lift 20 times their own body weight. An ant brain has about 250,000 brain cells. A human brain has 10 million, so a colony of 40,000 ants has collectively the same size brain as a human. The abdomen of an ant contains 2 stomachs. One stomach holds the food for itself and second stomach is for food to be shared with other ants. Thank you.
Address by Vice Chairman. Birthday wishes. Topukarnam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. National Anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे